Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to this live stream. Today I'm going to be doing a live Q&A and speaking to my beloved audience. And here is the link for whoever wants to join me. Alrighty. How is everyone doing? Okay. Assalamu alaikum, Naveed, Bashir, Abdul, Moiz, Miran, Ahmed. Welcome. Welcome indeed. Chaudhry Muhammad Ikram, Walaikum Assalam. Khalid Muhammad, Assalamu alaikum. I believe that's the Khalid. Yes, that's Khalid. Jobaz, Ehsan, Mahdi Muhammad, Assalamu alaikum, my brothers. Right. Steve Khan, you as well. Alrighty. Questions. When is my book coming out? Inshallah, next year, I believe. Rightio. La ilaha illallah, indeed. Alrighty. So, live Q&A. So what I do is, as you guys know, I speak about atheism, Darwinism, Dawa, zombie scrolling, this type of thing. So let's have a conversation. Whoever wants to join the stream, please click and let's have a chat. Am I married? Yes, I am married. Is Hamza publishing the second Divine Reality? Maybe. I'll have to check with him. People seem to think I'm his secretary, which I am. I think I am, yes. So, okay. Yes, Noor is taking over soon. That's right. That's right, indeed. All right. All righty. Gambit. What question did you ask, Mr. Gambit? Why aren't you watching Man City versus Arsenal? Because I don't care about football, my friend. You have this. Absolutely not. I should be. And it's a very good thing to be, but I am not. Didn't see super chat. Nope, I don't have super chat. Allah knows best. I should be doing more debates. You're right. Here is the link for whoever wants to join the stream. I think Noor should attend each other's lectures weekly. Noor's my brother. Anyone who's doing, do you know about Sahil Adim? Yeah, I do. MashaAllah, really good speaker. PhD done? Not yet. Part-time. What else? Make your thumbnails. Yeah, can you just email me? I think you might have emailed me and I might have. Yeah, just email me again, please. What is your day job? I work in IERA. I've been, alhamdulillah, the blessing of Allah, that I've been in IERA for the past, Allahu Akbar, many, many years now. So let's go to the first question from Mr. Mir Razik ul Islam. Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. How are you doing, brother?
Alhamdulillah. How you doing?
Alhamdulillah.
Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from Kashmir.
Wow. Okay. Which Kashmir?
Indian Kashmir.
Yes, yes, Indian Kashmir. Okay. How you doing, brother?
Alhamdulillah. How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Thank you for joining the stream. So, what's your question?
My question is like I have seen your many of the talks you have given on the evolution, right?
Mhm.
So, I mean, doesn't evolution conflict with Islam?
The basic idea of evolution, which is observation of biological change over time, does not contradict Islam, does not conflict with Islam. It's theologically vanilla. It doesn't make a difference. Um, the creation of man, the idea that man is linked to, you know, the rest of life through the primate lineage, that conflicts Islam. The idea that life is the result of a blind naturalistic process, that conflicts Islam. So those things conflict Islam. That's where the conflict lies, but not with the basic idea that there's biological change over time. That's pretty much well established.
So, can't the biological change occur by chance?
Well, that's what they're claiming, that it's random mutations and natural selection working on random mutations creates the biodiversity that we have, the origin of body plans, the origin of species, the origin of DNA. So, the development of DNA, all of those types of things. That's It's up to them to try and prove it. We believe that that's not really, um, it's not really feasible, considering, not feasible. It's not really backed up empirically. We believe that empirically there isn't enough evidence for natural selection working on random mutations to explain the biodiversity of life.
Right. So, what books you would refer? If someone wants to study this.
Um, there's many books. I mean, a very good book is The Politically Incorrect Guide to Darwinism and Intelligent Design by Jonathan Wells. That's a very good book.
Right. So, yeah, basically, I have gone through many of the lectures of Brother Hijab regarding the contingency argument, but I really didn't get it. I mean, it went over my head. So, I mean, I got the cause-based contingency, but not the argument from dependence. Could you explain it in few minutes?
I don't really, I mean, I don't use the contingency argument myself. And I don't like to speak about it either. I like to just stick to my lane, which is evolution and general other arguments for design and stuff like that. Contingency argument, Hamza's book is the best. Just read that book, and that really summarizes it. I don't think there's more to be said other than that. But if you read through the book, it's really made easily accessible and digestible and quite lucid. So when you go through it, you'll understand it, inshallah.
You're talking about the divine reality.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it today in the morning.
There you go.
Uh,
There you go.
yeah. Now, I would like to say
Uh,
that,
Can I just one question at at a time, because we're gonna
yeah,
have loads of people joining, inshallah.
sure, sure, sure.
Thank you
Uh,
so much.
just, just
Yes.
say my salam to Muhammad Hijab.
Um, he's not here right now, and a lot of people are gonna give
Not,
him some, but
not now. Whenever you meet him, yeah, you'll say him.
I cannot commit to that because loads of people request it, and I don't like to commit to anything. You can email him, Sirat Education, or you can Instagram him. But it's an amana. If you tell me, then I have to go tell him, and I can't remember. Loads of people are trying to give him salam and stuff like that. Hope you don't mind.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you. Jazakallah.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Assalamu
Assalamu
alaikum.
alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Is Jonathan Wells' book better or Stephen Myers? Is the information outdated? They're not better than each other. They're both covering different areas. Stephen Myers is covering the return of the God hypothesis, DNA. Jonathan Wells is covering zombie science, and he's also covering other areas. Two different books, two different authors, fantastic guys. Um, no, the information is not outdated. Remember, they're putting together theoretical challenges which have examples. Those examples, you know, they're quite important from a historical point of view, and they're not going to those. I don't see how those examples could be dated, right? So, for example, punctuated equilibrium and the way that the fossil record shows stasis and the massive rapid expansion and changes, that's not the sort of thing that can change over time, right? That's a good example that we can use. While we are here, I hope everybody has been downloading the app Quranly. Quranly is a fantastic app. It'll give you notifications on your phone. So I'm on my phone, I get a notification, so Quranly, and then you go in there, you read. And the thing is, sometimes you're on your phone, you're zombie scrolling, you're wasting time. The Quranly app comes, it gives you a reminder, and you wanna check it. So please, guys, check it out. Fantastic project. In fact, this project was launched on this very channel. So there you go. It's a great project, and inshallah, it's going to make a big difference to people. Ali Raza, what's your position when it comes to human exceptionalism? So human exceptionalism, the idea that there is human beings are an exception and the rest of life could have evolved via Darwinian mechanism. Shoaib Ahmed Malik's book covers that idea. Fantastic idea. Fantastic book covering all different areas. It's possible from an Islamic point of view, but I personally don't believe the mechanism of Darwinian evolution is sufficient to explain the biodiversity of life and the complexity of life. So I personally wouldn't agree with that. I mean, I would agree it's you could be a Muslim and believe in it, but I wouldn't go that far. What is the benefit of Quranly app over other apps? What makes it different? Okay, I would simply say download Quranly, download another Quran app, and see the difference. The difference is intuitive. Quranly is designed in a fresh way, in a way that takes into account the 21st century, 2023. Look at many Quran apps, they're dated, they're not interactive, they're not fun. The way that you get addicted to using Quranly, because it's a habit building app. You see, the apps that you get for the Quran sort of apps that you get on Apple and Google or whatever, they're not there to build habits in terms of the Quran. This app is there to build habits. So if we want to know what is the difference between Quranly and other apps, Quran apps, then the question is, why is everyone talking about Quranly? Why do you find Quranly on Mufti Menk's channel? Why do you find it on all these different platforms? Why do you find people who, like Adnan Rashid, somebody who is a student of knowledge and someone who's been involved in Dawah many, many years, a busy, hectic lifestyle, he's a raving fan. Why? Why is this happening? Because it's a habit building app. Now, some of the most beautiful things about it is not just the fresh look, right? But it's also the way that everything is tracked. Which Quran app has this type of tracking? Which Quran app is telling you how much ajr you're actually accumulating, inshallah? So all of these things collectively make Quranly app quite unique. Okay. I remember you once said Darwinism is pseudoscience, but now you say you accept Darwinism is valid scientific theory. May you explain how you reconcile that? Sorry, I misunderstood. I changed my opinion. I used to say Darwinism is pseudoscience. I no longer call it pseudoscience. I accept it as science. I believe there's aspects of it which are still pseudoscientific, but the theory itself broadly is not pseudoscience. Pseudoscience is a term that I used previously for Darwinism, but I've changed my mind on that. And thank you, brother. I see you, mashallah, you always reposting my stuff and you contact me on Twitter and stuff. All right, Chaudhry Mauz Gujar, brother, what do you think about Francis Collins? He says that evolution and creationism are compatible. I think it's nonsense. I do not believe. I mean, Francis Crick's ideas are untenable. Let's go back to the works of Philip Johnson, another Christian, who puts it in the following way: you can't have two masters. You can't have Darwinism and God, right? It's going to be Darwinism or God, because the way that it works is the mechanism of natural selection working on random mutations and the way it's used to reinforce naturalism. That's something which we can't say that Darwinian evolution is compatible with belief in God. We can't say that. We can say the idea of biological evolution over time and the tree of life and natural, there are ways we can do it, but the general idea that Darwinism writ large it goes hand in hand with creationism, is compatible and it's complementary, that doesn't really make any sense to me. You can, however, do something else though. Wow, I just forgot what I was going to do. I forgot what I was going to say. Yes, you can believe in universal common ancestry, but you believe that the mechanism driving biological change is driven by God. That's possible. But the idea that natural selection working on random mutations and it could have been other, we're all the result of that main mechanism working in a blind way, that obviously is theologically problematic. I'm glad it was. Please make dua. Allah makes us sincere and accepts our good deeds. Watch One Path Network free will and divine decree video. Okay, didn't know about that. Wa iyak, my brother. Who's Mustafa? I actually don't know who Mustafa is. Very good question. Not my name. What is the best contention to abiogenesis or the formation of organic matter and proteins through millions of years leading to the original cell? We don't need to come up with a contention. They need to come up with the evidence for it. They need to explain abiogenesis, any theory of abiogenesis that they have. They need to explain the theoretical theory that they have and to show that actually it's sound, it's parsimonious, it's simple, it has explanatory power, it makes predictions which are confirmed. It needs to do all of that. And then it needs to provide empirical evidence. Then we'll have some reason to have a discussion with them. However, at the moment, they want us to challenge this theory or that theory, but they haven't actually provided the theoretical framework and the empirical evidence. All right. Rightio. Why is existence not used as a primary proof for Allah? You're going to have to explain yourself, Blue Sky. I'm not sure what you mean. What is the divine purpose for which Allah sent us to worship? To worship Allah alone. That's it. Nothing else. In the remembrance of Allah, do hearts find peace. It's all about Allah. Everything else is empty in this dunya. All right, Scott. Good to see you as well. Is this Scott or is this Halal Newton? That's the question. No worry, my brother. Please change your display picture. It's disturbing. I know all the arguments for the existence of Allah and Islam, but bro, when a calamity hits, my iman takes a massive hit. It's depressing. All right, this question. Brothers and sisters, think about this question. Okay? What's wrong with this question? Okay? What's wrong with this question? Let's do this together. What is wrong with this question? Let's help him out. What is wrong with this question? Bernie, not in my name, SK, Jada. Let's have Abdul Moiz. What is the problem with this question, guys? Assumption that everything is perfect. Life is a test, of course, Ali. That's true. But there's something else going on. Philosophical arguments cannot be the foundation of Iman. That's correct. That is correct. That is the problem here. You knowing all the arguments for Allah and Islam does not mean that when a calamity hits, you're going to react in a very positive way. You need to develop yourself spiritually. You need to grow yourself spiritually. You need to be ready for calamity before it happens. You need to, it's got nothing logic. We think, oh, this, I know Islam is true. I have evidence for Allah. I have evidence for Islam. I have evidence for the Quran. I believe in Allah, the fitrah, all of that. But a calamity hits, you don't react well. How many people believe Islam is true? How many people can articulate God's existence and articulate Islam's veracity, its truthfulness, yet they don't pray 5 times a day? You have to build your iman. Okay. What do you think about the idea if archaeologists were to discover the fossils of the people of Hud alayhi salam, they would consider them Homo sapiens, so that you can be a son of Adam and different? They would consider them Homo sapiens. Why wouldn't they? I don't understand this one. IRA will open in new countries, inshallah. If you feel like a hypocrite, inshallah, you're not going to be a hypocrite, inshallah, but we should always think we could be hypocrites. Okay, how do you respond to those who say there's flaws in human anatomy? Okay, why don't I have bulletproof skin? Why is it that if someone tries to shoot me, the bullets will go through? Why do we have hair that stops around the cheek area? Why can't the hair be here? Why do we have such short lifespans? We're only alive like 70 years, whatever. What exactly flaws, and how do you define flaws? Allah created life and death to test us. Diseases are, there. Who's behind the test of life? It's Allah. Allah, like Allah says in the Quran, whoever He wills, He gives males. Whoever He wills, He gives females. Whoever He wills, He gives males and females. Whoever He wills, He makes barren. Barrenness. Allah attributes barrenness to Himself. Barrenness is supposedly a flaw. No, this is ridiculous. The fact is, this life is not designed to be perfect, right? We're not supposed to live here forever. Perfection is for the hereafter. Perfection is for Jannah, for us to be living with Allah in Jannah. That's perfection, not this. This is like, this life is just a test. How many people, one day they're healthy, one day they get sick. So I have some videos on intelligent design and bad design, and why bad design doesn't actually exist. It's not an argument against God. Anyone that says bad design, they have to give evidence for what they mean by design and firstly, if you say something, human beings are badly designed. Okay, firstly, for us to decide if something's bad design or good design, we have to know what the objective of the design is. That's an important question. If we don't know the objective, how can we say something is bad design or good design? What do I do for a living? I breathe so I can live. No idea about aliens, my friend. Have you watched Dr. Iyad Ghanubi's series? I haven't seen. I've seen his videos, but I haven't seen like a particular series. He's a fantastic guy, mashallah. I'm gonna try and get him on my stream. Worry about yourself, my friend. Don't worry about Iblis. Yeah, absolutely agree. Exactly. Assalamualaikum, could you explain to me natural selection, survival of the fittest, like it's right or wrong? What can you say from an Islamic perspective? Jazakallah khair. All right, so the basic idea of the survival of the fittest, the basic idea of natural selection doesn't contradict Islam. But natural selection being the main driving force of life, explaining biodiversity, explaining everything, that obviously does. What books would you suggest for me to read? Depending on what you feel like reading. Really does depend. You have to specify. That's right. Can you talk about the cognition of the heart versus brain? Quran states they have hearts, do they not think with them? This is something I want to do a video in the future, inshallah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can't. You have to sort of specify. And the last time I went to the park, Sunday. Inshallah, I'll bring Mr. Faraz back. How many people want Faraz back? I agree. Like, honestly, I agree. If somebody was to ask me, like, what's the most powerful argument against Darwinism? Firstly, they need to provide the arguments on their side, and they need to look at the fossil record, and the fossil record does not support them. Walaikum salam. Very good question. Very good question. They need to provide evidence. So when they say the fossil record, okay, so this is important. Sometimes what we do, we start challenging. Rather than challenging them, the question is, what's the evidence that the fossil record supports Darwinism, rather than us having to challenge it? Of course, we can challenge it by pointing out stasis and large punctuations. Why is it people are unraw the way they are? I don't think he's sincere. If he was sincere, it would not, he wouldn't be acting the way he is. Yeah, it's on my website. It's on my website. Just go there. Has something about methodological adaptationism. Vote for Faraz, yes. Junk DNA is not actually junk, and vestigial organs can fit within intelligent design. But again, are they really vestigial, or is there actually a purpose behind them? That's also like the appendix was thought as vestigial, but now we discovered it's not. Yep, I've done that. I don't know why I feel like answering this question. Not because I'm, long story short, if the Prophet ﷺ said something, if something is sahih, if something is there, then you can't really say, oh, the whole Earth's been scoured and therefore it's not. The fact is, it's true. So then the answer obviously is no, we haven't looked at everywhere. There must be somewhere, maybe under the Earth, certain another part. Or how do you know even the fact that the whole Earth has been discovered? What's the evidence for that? We're discovering, there could be a random island somewhere. We don't know. I think there's too much, like, people get too worried about these types of things. Here's an interesting question. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I like this question. I actually like this question. It's a good question. What do you guys think of this question? Hmm. What do you guys actually think of this question? I'm like super tired today. Absolutely smashed. Hmm. With the new atheists, they've basically lost. They've lost. That's what it is. They're absolutely lost. They are confused. They had a movement going on. They were going in a direction. They wanted particular changes. They split. The feminists split from them. The atheists split from them. Split from within themselves. Then Jordan Peterson came along and he stole a whole bunch of their guys. So where is it as a movement? And now I think people like Aaron Ra don't even represent it because it's not really a movement anymore. And now it's all this political talk about conservatives and liberals. You're right. It is very interesting what's going on. Hmm. I need to block these atheists who are jumping on the stream, eh? All right, let's talk. What about Mr. Okay, whose fans are like potatoes? Whose fans are like potatoes? Come on. Who's been filming on a potato and getting away with it in the Dawa scene? Come on, guys. Who is this? Come on. Answer the question. Hey, Fareed. Yes. Do you know what? There's 99 of you guys watching this, right? Should we all start a Twitter attack on Fareed? Why not? Firstly, who likes Fareed's channel? Let's see. Hmm. Okay. I love Fareed's channel. Okay, why do you love Fareed's channel? What does he do? I like. Okay. Okay. Make Twitter great again, Sheikh. Okay. Who is freed? Come on, man. Now, you have to like one of us. Can't you both? Fire potato intro. Yes. Hmm. Look at that. Oh, I just added quantum something and he left. And before. Hello, my friend. Quantum electrodynamics. Can you hear me? Brother, quantum electrodynamics. You're trying to mute yourself, unmute yourself. Trying to add Mr. Potato. Okay. I like that. Come on, Mr. Quantum Electrodynamics. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. This is what we're going to be doing. Okay. Yes. This is the new thing for us. Fantastic. All right. How happy am I to see that? Very happy. Who's this brother? Sayon Nuku. Sayon Nuku, please join.
I think my mic works now. Can you hear me?
Yes. How you doing, brother? You need to switch off. You got something in the background. Something in the background going on.
I am very sorry about that. So I had another laptop on. So I am watching the stream for some time now, and I had a question I wanted to ask about the presence of sort of Neanderthal DNA in the human genome. So according to many articles which I have read in the past, some scientists say that this is a result of humans and Neanderthals, well, sort of mating with each other. So does this imply that current humans right now, modern Homo sapiens, aren't direct descendants of Adam alayhi salam and Hawa?
Yeah. Thank you for that question. So I've been addressing this question for a while now, and the way I address it is by simply asking whether the distinction between Neanderthals and us as Homo sapiens is correct. Because remember, biologists have their definition for Homo sapiens, Neanderthals, and Denisovans or whatever. But when it comes to Bani Adam, the children of Adam alayhi salam, how do we know that Neanderthals were not from amongst that lineage? We don't. So current day, modern day human beings sharing a whole bunch of DNA with Neanderthals, for me, like, it doesn't mean anything, because all it's simply saying is we were part of the same, okay, depending on the way you define species, but we could say we're the same species, right? Because we interbred with them. And they could have just been a geographically isolated subpopulation which grew and then died out. So I don't really, I mean, they could be Bani Adam. I don't see the link between Neanderthals. Firstly, the Neanderthals aren't as dumb as people thought. They're actually pretty smart, and they had all these things going on. But do you see the problem? Like, what's wrong? Like, from an Islamic point of view, we're Bani Adam, right? And Neanderthals were mixing with Europeans. Bani Adam, Europeans are Bani Adam, and then Neanderthals are Bani Adam. Like, I don't see why this is a problem, hypothetically. Do you see my point?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's just many atheists I've seen sometimes they keep talking using this as sort of evidence for against the Adam and Eve story, and they keep showing these skulls and sort of things in their presentations, and they keep pushing it in a sort of dogmatic way, just like how they basically try to shove evolution inside other people's throats. They do the same thing with this one. They try to present it as evidence.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's, we always have to go back to, is it even a contention? That's the point. Is it even a contention? And it simply could not be. It could be that's not actually a contention.
Yeah, you might be right, because, well, science changes day by day, to be honest, and I agree with you. Yeah, thank you very much.
But why does science even need to change in this context? Like, do you understand? Like, even the status quo right now, there's a bit of feedback. I think you need to. Yeah.
Sorry.
So I don't understand. Like, anybody who comes up with that contention, I'm trying to understand what are they trying to show? Like, what exactly are they trying to show? I actually don't understand it, and that's one of the key things. You sometimes have to ask the person that you're dealing with, like, what is your point? And it sounds a bit dumb, but what is your point? What exactly are you trying to say?
Yeah, I think yeah. Sorry, go on.
So you see, if I say to you, disprove my point, you're going to first ask me, what's your point? If my point is not clearly articulated, it's hard to challenge it. That's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. It's just because sometimes in arguments they try to use it as if it's a sort of contention against the Adam and Eve story. But judging by what you have said previously, I think it's no longer a contention. Rather, it's just something which they might be just trying to use just sort of as evidence or some sort of reason. I wouldn't necessarily call it evidence, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you for your question. Where are you calling in from, by the way?
I am calling from right now from England, but I am originally from Oman. I'm just studying here, studying physics here. So alhamdulillah, it's very nice here.
Nice. Thank you for joining the stream, brother.
Jazakallah khairan. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
All right.
Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
How are you doing, brother? Where are you calling in from?
Australia.
Nice. I like this idea of yours. I actually put it on my put it up as a comment. So do you watch Freed?
Not all the time, sometimes it just depends on what pops up.
All right. Okay. So
I love the brother.
Sorry?
I love the brother, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy, but I like annoying him. Sometimes in the dawah we get these like dawah dramas going on. So the other day I thought, let me just start a drama. Why not? let's just start a drama. Let's just see where it goes.
Yeah.
So explain to everyone what your idea is.
The potato. It just popped in my head when you mentioned about who was filming potato and whatever. I thought, well, why not? Just everyone jump on his page and start posting up a picture of a potato or whatever.
That's it. We're gonna roast him. We're gonna make potatoes out of him.
Just don't tell him it was my idea.
I think it's a bit too late for that now. I actually took your comment and I put it on Twitter. So he's gonna, next time you're on his channel, he's gonna see Sion Nuku.
Yeah.
That's a unique name. Are you like indigenous? Like, are you from like the indigenous people of Australia?
No, so I'm half Tongan, half Australian.
Half Tongue.
Half Tongan.
Tongan, so Tonga, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so are you a convert?
Revert. Oh, convert, whatever.
Oh, mashallah. When did you convert to Islam?
To what are we now? Would be about 5 months ago, maybe.
Wow.
I've been listening to a lot of the guys on YouTube, realistically, it popped up. I don't know why, but I was at the time, because my background, my family is Mormon. So I don't know why I jumped on, because we've got a church app that they list all our conference videos, updates, all that kind of stuff. And I was watching a conference video where one of the elders that was speaking mentioned how similar the teachings are in the church and Islam. And I was like, hang on a second, that don't make sense, because everything you hear about Islam on the news, it's like blow people up, shoot everybody, kill this, kill that. And I'm like, let me go and have a look. So I jumped on YouTube and Googled it, and for 2.5 years I was watching brothers like yourself, Shamsi, EF Dawa, Mansour, Hashim, pretty much everybody really. And then I jumped on EF Dawa, and I was having a chat to them and took my Shahada. So
Allahu Akbar. That's amazing. And you managed to grow that glorious beard in 5 months. That's an achievement.
pretty much. It is hilarious, because I would always just let everything grow. And then when it got to the point where it was annoying, I'd shave it off. And
Okay.
once I took my Shahada, I basically just let it grow, and it's never really annoyed me since. So
Nice, nice. So, do you have Muslims around you? Yeah. Sorry?
that was kind of funny, because my wife she was always like nagging me to grow it out and whatnot, and I was like, nah. And then once I took my Shahada and started growing it, she's happy days. So
Okay. Okay, mashallah. And do you have Muslims around you where you are?
yeah, they're scattered about. I don't really know anyone locally to where I am, but I know they're about, because I see them every now and again when we go out shopping and whatnot. But I've been to the mosque a couple of times. Just, it's kind of hard with me, because especially to attend like prayer and whatnot. I work overnight, so I'm normally leaving home around 9:30 p.m. and I don't get home till around 8:39 in the morning. So no, when prayer times are normally on at the mosque, I'm dead asleep. So
Okay. And in terms of your development of Islam, who's been helping you learn how to pray, fast, the basics? Where have you been learning?
just on my own. So I watch videos. I'm slowly trying to learn the alphabet. So I've heard a couple of people mention it's, once you get that down, it's actually quite easier to work through things, instead of trying to learn I don't know whether it's right to say, but the English version of Arabic words. But yeah, no, I do my best to try and get through as much as I can without killing myself. So
Okay, good, very
yeah.
good. And what would your message be to Muslims for why we should be giving dawah?
It's an obligation. Why wouldn't you? I mean, what? To be honest, what excuse are you going to have at the end of the day when you're standing in front of Allah and he's like, why didn't you talk to the guy next door? Like, what are you going to say? Oh, sorry, I was too tired. I'm lazy. Please forgive me. There's no excuse really. Even though you might smile at him, say, wave, hi, how you doing? Hope all's well, but whatever. You should still at least try. But the scenario they shut you down is like, nah, I'm not interested. Get lost. Okay, fine. You've done your best, but to literally not mention anything or say anything, no. I mean, it is kind of funny, because I'm very much like Hamza, straight to the point. I don't go around the bush. I don't like nonsense. If you're gonna start talking nonsense to me, I'll be in your face. I don't care. So It was kind of funny because a lot of people brought it up after they heard me talking to the brothers and doing my shahada. They're like, "Oh, that guy's like a mini Hamza." I'm like, "Yeah, that's pretty much me." So
Interesting. And you know, like everybody has, you've obviously from a Christian background, then you converted and stuff. But was there anything in particular that made you convert? Like, I don't know, miracles of the Quran, prophecies, preservation. Was there anything in particular? Or was it just the theology?
no, I mean, to be honest, as long as I can remember, I've always been, I don't know whether you'd call it spiritual or probably more God conscious. Like that's the whole 3 in 1, and they're one, or they're actually one person, not three, but they appeared at different times as different people. It just, none of that never really clicked until I actually started looking into Islam, where all that stuff kind of came out. And I was like, how do, like, none of it makes any sense. Like, how you can say what you're saying and actually believe it is hilarious to me. But I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's whatever you want to believe. That's you. But to actually come up, I mean, kudos to them if they're brave enough to come up and try and defend it. But how you can stand with a straight face and advocate for anything like that is beyond me. It's like for me, God's always been one. And then once I started looking into things, they all slowly clicked and fell into place for me. And I mean, it's kind of funny growing up myself with all the accidents and whatnot that I've had. I literally should be dead 3 times over. And
Wow.
doctors themselves can't explain it. Like, how the hell you're still alive? We don't know. I'm like, well, it is what it is. I don't know if you can see it right there on my forehead. Is a scar.
Right.
So in Sydney, if you actually go online and look at a map of Sydney waterfront on Manly Beach, there's a hill that comes down to towards the pier. I got cleaned up there when I was 3.5, 4, by an old vehicle doing probably 70, 80. And I was in hospital for 3 months. That was my first accident where I should have actually died. They don't know how I survived that, but yeah. But yeah, it's basic. Once I started looking into it, it all just slowly fell into place and clicked and made sense to me. So
Allah protected you, man.
sure. I mean, it's not me. I know I've got a hard head, but it's not that hard.
It's not that hard. No one's head is that hard. So what do you do? Are you driving right now?
Yeah, I'm at work. I'm just waiting for a customer to turn up. They're never on time, so.
Yeah, okay. What do you do?
I deliver milk for one of our major milk companies here in Australia.
Milkman. What could be a better job?
Oh, it is one of the more dangerous ones, especially for us, because we work nights and sleep during the day. I mean, driving's dangerous enough, but to do it at night, it's just worse. But I'm lucky enough because my father ran his own cleaning business at night. That's what I grew up doing, working nights, which I've pretty much done my whole life. So having to work at night and then manage my day and get some sleep in and whatnot, it's never been an issue for me. So,
that's interesting. What, now that you're Muslim and you pray, right? You try and get all your prayers in, right? You pray 5 times a day?
no, I'll be honest, no, not at this stage. Just a lot of it, because I sleep during the day.
Yeah.
I try and get in as much as I can.
Right.
But most of the time for me, it's like I try to be conscious while I'm awake to constantly think back, make sure that even if it's just me talking to myself in my head, thanking Allah for what I have and being alive and stuff like that. But yeah, to
Sure.
say that I actually get all my prayers in, no. But
Okay. I mean, the
I feel
first thing, yeah,
much.
yeah. I mean, the first thing is intention, right? Sion, it's intention. So you have the intention, which is good. You're a new Muslim, and it takes time. It takes a long time sometimes. Sometimes, it takes years to get all the basics in place. What I would say is that try and get like a local imam or somebody who can advise you, because you're sleeping during the day and then you wake at night. So like, okay, how maybe you combine prayers. I don't know, like something, get some understanding. The main thing is you stick at it. You don't give up. You just carry on, and inshallah Allah will help you, and you'll do all the 5 prayers. So when you do pray, how does it make you feel?
Peaceful.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, as hard as it is to remove your mind from whatever it is you've got going on in your life at the time, to just, for the few moments that you're going through your prayers, to just ignore anything and everything you've got going on and just focus on talking to Allah and going through in your mind what you're grateful for, thanking Him for everything, all that kind of stuff. It's about as peaceful as you can get. So, and I'm grateful for that. So,
Brilliant. All right. So my brother Sion, thank you so much for joining the stream. I think this is a good point to end the stream upon as well. A fantastic conversation we had. May Allah bless you. Inshallah, you'll be joining the streams in the future, eh?
Yeah, always. I'm actually, so, I mean, it probably won't be for a couple of years, so I've got a few things to sort out. But now that, because not long after I did my Shahada, my wife was like, let me figure it out. So we ended up having a private chat with myself, her, and Brother Abbas. And she took, Dr. Imran, and she took her Shahada, which is kind of interesting because he was
Allah.
the one Shahada as well. So,
MashaAllah. Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that. Fantastic.
Yeah, no, if you go back to, I did mine on the Open Forum episode 37. So, yeah, now we're trying to get some things sorted out financially so we can do Hajj together.
MashaAllah.
But yeah, now I've also got plans to pop over and take a holiday and come to England.
More than welcome.
And have a feed and meet all the brothers and say hi, see what's happening at Speaker's Corner.
Definitely. I'd love to meet you. So I'm on Twitter. Please message me on Twitter or my email, darwiniandelusions@gmail.com. When you're in London, we got to meet up. And inshallah, I know Dr. Imran, so I'll get you to meet him as well. But you probably have his number anyway, or some sort of contact with him.
Yeah, no, my plan was before we organised to come over, I was going to email the brothers and say, hey, look, we're planning on coming over. When would be the best time to come, to at least organise so that they're all aware I'm coming, and if they want to make up time or if they're free, then we can all meet up. But yeah.
Brilliant.
I did have a question for you, though, because I always find it hilarious listening to you talking to atheists and all the science guys like Skydive Phil and whatnot. And it's quite hilarious listening to them stumble and trying to explain things. And they end up getting stuck and they can't. So I would think for you, out of all the discussions that you've had with people like that, who would have been I wouldn't say hardest, but one that would made the most sense from a scientific side of things? Like, who do you think would have been your hardest challenge to talk to?
The most qualified person I've had a discussion with is Jeremy Pritchard, Professor Jeremy Pritchard of Birmingham University. So I have a talk with him in which we're talking about, does evolution undermine God? Now, he's somebody who agrees that evolution doesn't undermine God, but he believes in universal common ancestry. And I believe, obviously, not that. Now, in terms of him and his narrative, it's pretty vanilla, it's pretty standard. He has the standard view. But he's, somebody that it'd be very easy to sort of argue that, God is not undermined by biological evolution. But when it comes to universal common ancestry, someone like that, who I respect, because they don't come from a philosophy background and they're only looking at the science, it's actually pretty difficult when someone has no idea of the philosophy to try and convince them that actually universal common ancestry is not an absolute fact. And it's actually more difficult to talk to somebody when they're not all-rounded like that. However, there are people in the park who you come across, sometimes laymen, who are more philosophically read, and they understand that actually from the philosophy is even relevant. With someone like, Aaron Ra, the problem is he's weak in the philosophy and weak in the biology, so it's even worse. But I don't think the main idea which I try and put out, which is philosophically, evolution does not undermine God's existence. If biological evolution, Darwinism doesn't reinforce naturalism. Naturalism, in fact, has to be assumed for Darwinism to make sense, and that universal common ancestry is fundamentally still based upon assumptions: transition probabilities, origination probabilities, transition probabilities, origination probabilities, and what's it called? The third one. Transition probabilities, origination probabilities, and naturalism in of itself, like methodological naturalism. Like these things, nobody really can deny them. They're just well known and understood. But a lot of this depends on what they believe. Like if someone doesn't believe in God and they're an atheist, then they're bound to believe in something like Darwinism. So it's very hard, and sometimes it's very hard to speak to people who refuse to accept that theology and philosophy has a place with science, right? And that science is being informed by philosophy, as in the naturalistic philosophy. But yeah, I would say have a look at that discussion that I had with Jeremy Pritchard, and I think you'll be seeing where we actually converge, at least where we agree.
Yeah. Now, it's one thing that's always kind of not interested me, but I found quite funny. Even if the person doesn't accept God, listening to them trying to explain their position and evolution and where everything's come from, for me it's quite hilarious because they can't do it. It just gets, it's like, okay, you might say the same thing about us that believe in God, but we can rationalize it.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. So thank you, brother Sion. We'll end the stream there. Allah bless you, and I'll have you, inshallah, in the future at some point, and definitely when you come to London, inshallah.
Yeah, no, quite funny. I completely forgot about it. But my sister and her partner are over there at the moment. They're on holidays. So she was in England about 2-3 days ago. Now they're currently in Marseille. So I'm pretty sure they end up back in England for about 3-4 days, and then they fly back here. So, but yeah. Oh, just the last thing. How's your thesis going? Did you finish?
Nope. I'm doing it part-time. I still have a couple of years.
Oh,
Inshallah.
I'm sure it'll come around quick enough.
Inshallah.
All
right. Sion, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
All right, everybody. Jazakallah khair for joining the stream. I'm actually really tired today. It's like super tiring. May Allah bless you. And until next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.